Immanuel Kant, the architect of modern philosophy, and his top 10 groundbreaking contributions. Immanuel Kant, a significant figure in modern philosophy, has impacted nearly every aspect of philosophical discourse. His profound works on metaphysics, epistemology, ethics, and aesthetics have not only shaped Western thought, but also continue to resonate in contemporary philosophical discussions. Of particular note is Kant's critique of pure reason, which not only critiques and refines the ideas of his predecessors, but also lays a robust foundation for future philosophical research. Kant's exploration of the limits of human knowledge and the pivotal role of reason remains a central point of contention in contemporary debates. His argument that reason, while crucial for understanding the world, has inherent limits beyond which uncertainty and mystery prevail, has had a profound impact on modern philosophy and scientific discussions. This perspective has not only shaped our approach to knowledge and the pursuit of truth, but also continues to stimulate intellectual discourse. Here, we examine 10 of his most significant contributions. Critique of Pure Reason. Immanuel Kant's landmark book, Critique of Pure Reason, investigates the capabilities and limits of human understanding. This philosophical classic introduces the well-known distinction between phenomena, how we perceive the world, and noumena, the world as it exists independently of our perception. It lays the foundation of modern philosophy, discussing critical concepts like space, time, and causality, while exploring human perception and cognition. Kant aims to define our knowledge's boundaries and establish a metaphysics framework. Categorical Imperative. At the heart of Kantian ethics lies the categorical imperative, a principle that advocates for actions that can be universally applied. This foundational concept of deontological ethics underscores the universality of moral laws and duties. It urges us to consider the broader impact of our actions, creating a sense of responsibility and promoting a more just society. The categorical imperative, therefore, is not just an abstract philosophical concept, but a practical guide for ethical decision-making. Transcendental Idealism. Kant's theory of transcendental idealism argues that our experiences are shaped by the conditions of our mind, meaning that our cognitive framework influences perception. However, these mental conditions don't necessarily reflect the actual properties of objects as they exist independently. This idea is central to transcendental idealism, which posits that our cognitive faculties, including senses, intuition, and concepts, construct reality. By advocating this view, Kant aimed to bridge the gap between empiricism and rationalism, providing a comprehensive understanding of human perception and interpretation of reality. Understanding synthetic a priori knowledge in Kantian philosophy. Kant introduced the idea of synthetic a priori knowledge, which combines synthetic, expanding our knowledge, and a priori, independent of experience, categories. Examples include mathematics and fundamental physics principles. This type of knowledge is essential for grasping the structure and function of the world. Kant's theory challenged traditional empirical methods, which rely solely on sensory experience, and rationalist methods, which depend entirely on reason and logic. By proposing that some knowledge is synthetic and a priori, Kant paved the way for new philosophical inquiries and reshaped our understanding of how we acquire knowledge about the world. Kant's critique of practical reason and moral philosophy. In his work on moral philosophy, Kant introduces the categorical imperative, an unconditional moral law central to his ethical framework. He discusses the philosophy of freedom and the autonomy of the will, asserting that actual moral actions arise from these principles. For Kant, the independence of the will is crucial because it enables individuals to act according to moral laws they set for themselves, rather than being influenced by external factors or desires. These concepts form the foundation for ethical behavior, emphasizing rationality and self-governance. Kant's critique of judgment, aesthetics and teleology. Kant's critique of judgment focuses on aesthetic judgment, exploring how we perceive and appreciate beauty and the sublime in art and nature. He explains that our sense of beauty is linked to finding harmony and pleasure in aesthetic experiences, while the sublime evokes awe and a sense of grandeur beyond ordinary experiences. Kant also introduces teleological judgment, suggesting that we can view the organization of nature as having a purpose or design, even if such a purpose isn't empirically verifiable. This approach helps us make sense of natural phenomena, aligning sensory experiences with intellectual concepts. By making these complex ideas more accessible and using common keywords and phrases, we can better understand Kant's influential theories on synthetic a priori knowledge, moral philosophy, and aesthetic judgment. Kantian ethics. Kantian ethics is rooted in the belief that morality emerges from pure reason rather than empirical observations. Kant's ethical framework suggests that moral principles are discernible through rational thought. His ethics prioritize duty and goodwill as the cornerstones of moral behavior. According to Kant, actions should be driven by a sense of duty rather than personal desires or anticipated outcomes. This perspective emphasizes acting out of respect for moral laws determined by reason rather than for personal gain or external rewards. Theory of space and time. Kant revolutionized our understanding of space and time by proposing that they are not absolute or external entities, but forms of intuition that structure our experiences. According to Kant's theory, space and time are not inherent qualities of the world, but are the lenses through which we perceive and organize sensory input. These a priori intuitions provide the foundation for human cognition, enabling us to comprehend our surroundings and construct a coherent reality. This groundbreaking idea challenged traditional notions of space and time, profoundly influencing subsequent philosophical and scientific thought. Perpetual peace. In his political philosophy, Kant outlined the prerequisites for achieving lasting peace through republicanism, federalism, and non-interference among states. He argued that republican governments, founded on the separation of powers and the rule of law, are less likely to engage in war. Furthermore, he emphasized the importance of a federation of free states working together to maintain peace and security. The concept of non-interference, where states respect each other's sovereignty and refrain from meddling in internal affairs, was also crucial to his vision. Kant's ideas anticipated modern democratic peace theory, which suggests that democracies are less likely to conflict with each other. Influence on phenomenology and existentialism. Kant's work profoundly influenced later philosophical movements, especially phenomenology and existentialism. His critical philosophy explored the conditions that make human experience possible and meaningful. By addressing the foundational aspects of human cognition and experience, Kant laid the groundwork for subsequent thinkers to delve into more profound questions about existence, consciousness, and reality. His influence is evident in the works of later philosophers who continued exploring the limits of human knowledge and how our perceptions shape our understanding of reality. Kant is a cornerstone of modern Western philosophy, shaping critical discussions in metaphysics, epistemology, ethics, aesthetics, and political philosophy. His foundational works, such as Critique of Pure Reason, Critique of Practical Reason, and Critique of Judgment, introduced vital concepts that continue to influence contemporary thought. Kant's ideas remain central to philosophical debates. Concepts like the distinction between phenomena and noumena, the categorical imperative, and his views on human perception and morality are pivotal. The phenomena-noumena distinction, for example, differentiates between how things appear to us and how they genuinely are, raising profound questions about human knowledge and perception. The categorical imperative, a core element of Kant's ethical theory, suggests that moral actions must be universally applicable. This principle informs modern ethical discussions and provides a solid framework for understanding morality. Kant's influence extends beyond theoretical philosophy to practical applications in various fields, including ethics, epistemology, and political philosophy. Kant's intellectual legacy is evident in the works of subsequent philosophers who have built upon, critiqued, or adapted his theories. His influence permeates the intellectual landscape, making him a timeless figure in philosophy. Kant's rigorous approach and commitment to systematic inquiry have set a high standard for philosophical practice, ensuring that his work remains a vital part of the ongoing quest for understanding in the humanities and social sciences. Studying Kant's works is essential if you're interested in Western philosophy, ethics, or the history of metaphysics. His contributions continue to resonate, influencing philosophy's theoretical and practical aspects today.